All right, guys. So welcome to the Shark Tank edition of multifamily investing. So we've got Cornelius coming with us, Irish Kevin. We got our sharks, Scott, myself, and Irish. He hasn't joined yet. But Cornelius is going to be hosting us on this one. This is his baby. So Cornelius, take it away.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Joseph. Outstanding. Now, welcome to the multifamily Shark Tank. Now, a lot of people kind of ask the question is, what is this, right? What is this multifamily Shark Tank? Well, it's kind of like Shark Tank, but for apartment investing, right? So in a moment, we have real presenters. In a moment, you'll see a presenter come present an opportunity to invest. Now, I want to remind you, these are real people with real deals looking for real investors. So I strongly encourage you to ask questions, get engaged, and actually follow up with the person on presenting the deal tonight, okay? So with that said, I want to actually begin with a couple questions about you as well. So with that said, we have a lot of people ask the question of what if I don't know what to ask the question, right? So what we do, we have actually a panel of expert investors. They're going to ask questions and give feedback and present it as if they're investing their own money. So this allows you to actually learn from actually experienced investors about what they do. So before we begin, I want to introduce our expert experienced investors on panel. So first up, we have the man who actually spend more time on luxury yachts than he actually spend at home. My man, Scott Kidd. How you doing, Scott?
Hey, pretty good. Glad to be here. Just happy to be here. Just happy to be on yachts and invest in apartments.
Outstanding, good deal. Next up, Irish Kevin. Irish Kevin, you might tell the people who you are and how some things that you have done.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to PIC, Passive Investor Conference, put on by Joe. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Cornelius. Irish Kevin from Boston. I've been in real estate for a good 30 years or more, probably older than some of you guys were born. Had my own portfolio. I finally decided I hit the brick wall, so I started just getting rid of the local stuff here. I started getting to syndications. I couldn't delegate anymore. So now I'm into syndications full time, co-GP, KP, and also an LP. So I know, where everybody's coming from each perspective. So happy to be here, and let's get some chum in the water. Let's go.
Fantastic. Looks like we temporarily lost Cornelius for a moment.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Get eaten by a shark.
Good deal. Next up, the man of the hour. Y'all know the man of the hour. Joseph, go ahead, Joseph. Y'all already know Joseph. Joseph, tell me about it, who you are, and a little bit about what you've done.
Yeah, so Joseph Bronte, host of the Passive Investor Conference, engineer background, multifamily investor for the last 12 years. And yeah, this whole conference was really put on to educate passive investors. And you're going to be able to see a lot of those tools and techniques that you've learned about in the prior sessions from this weekend implemented in today's kind of Shark Tank episode. So I hope you're paying attention.
Outstanding. Thanks so much. Now you know about us, we want to know about you. So the moment you're about to see a poll pop up and ask a few questions, okay? First question I want to know is, where are you on your investing journey, right? Are you just getting started? You done a few deals, your first deal before, looking to grow? Maybe you close a few deals and looking to scale. Are you an expert, ready to teach others as well, right? Please choose one of the options that come on your screen. Is it showing?
It's showing. I guess it only shows to the attendees. I didn't get to put my option there.
Let's
It just doesn't give us the option to pick it.
It doesn't? Let's try again. Let's see what happens.
No, but I'm sure the attendees.
But it's not even, hold on, this.
Can you guys see the poll just pop up? Our attendees there?
Let's try again. Relaunch. Try now.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Try now.
There it goes.
Haha, it works now. Yes. Technology will not win today. Haha. Human AI will not take over a minute. We still have a chance. Outstanding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is what we have here. Share results, right? We have some people who are just getting started, great. Some people who done their first deal, outstanding. Some people who done a few deals, looking to scale, great. Also, some people, some experts, outstanding. I would love to have you here. All right, stop sharing. Next question I want to ask you is, are y'all Next question I want to ask you, what are you looking to get out of this event? Right? Because everybody comes to this event for different reasons. The question is, what are you looking to get out of this event? Watch that poll, share, right? Are you looking to learn more things? Are you looking to looking for some deals to invest in? Looking to find some more capital, or are you looking for your soulmate? What made you come to this? What are you looking to get out of this property? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, stop our polls. All right, share results. Let's see what we got here. Share results. Share results. All right, we got some people looking to learn more. Some looking for deals. Some looking for capital. Nobody looking for soulmate today. Oh man, not today, right?
Thinking.
Everybody's
today.
got their
All right, stop
soulmate.
Not today. Not today. It's okay. All right, I got you. So as you understand, next question. We all understand that it's not about what you know. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you and what they know you for. My actual question is, what do you want to know for, right? How can you help other people out? So can you help find deals? Can you help with capital? Can you help maybe manage assets? Or can you help be a lost soulmate? How can you help other people out? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you. Let's end the polls, share results. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we got some people looking can help with capital, management assets. Outstanding. We got good miss here. All right, stop that. And now let's begin the party. Let's get down to business. Now in a couple minutes, you'll see our presenter come up and present his deal. Feel free, like I said, feel free. These are real people with real deals looking for real investors. So if you have questions, I invite you, put it in a chat. You have an opportunity to ask a question as well, but put it in chat, reach out to the speaker and see how you can be a part of this opportunity as well. All right, Rob, you ready?
I am.
Outstanding. Rob, you got the mic.
Fantastic. Can you guys see my screen okay?
We can.
Fantastic. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to this investor presentation. We are so excited to share this opportunity with you. This is an opportunity that I can guarantee you've never seen before. It's an opportunity that may just change your life as well. And the way our investors are responding right now, I don't think this opportunity is going to be available very much longer. But before we begin, let me share with you a quick story. You see, a few years ago on these streets was a man who was trying to make a difference in this world. But no matter what he tried, it seemed he just couldn't get it right. He tried several things, but didn't know what to do, and life just kept happening to him. He went through a divorce. He lost his job. He was depressed and despondent. To escape, he tried chasing money. He tried chasing, eventually indulging in drugs and crime and that type of a lifestyle. And when you're living that type of a lifestyle, naturally trouble follows. He ended up having run-ins with the law and was arrested, but he wasn't arrested just a few times. He arrested, and not just 8 times or 12 times, but over and over and over again. And people around him thought he would live a life of crime forever. They labeled him a menace to society for the most part. And this wasn't a bad guy, or this guy had a really good heart. But one day something happened. Somebody believed in him. And that little belief created a spark, and that little spark ignited a fire. He always knew that he was meant to do great things in life, and so he did. He cleaned up. He started changing his daily habits and the people that he hung around, and got around some good influences that believed in him. And within a few years, he created multiple million-dollar companies. He helped hundreds of employees change their lives and the lives of their family for the better, for their future. He has mentored and coached others to do the same, and he has impacted thousands and thousands of lives. He believes that one person can change a family, one family can change a community, and one community can change a city. You may think that this is some made-up story, but the truth is, that person is me. You see, I stand before you today because somebody believed in me and helped me change my life. So I'm inviting you to join me to be that somebody for someone else. and as we continue to help change the lives of others. That lower right-hand photo in the lower right-hand corner is my wife and I standing in front of our first home 3 years to the day, guys, that I walked out of drug rehab. Upper left-hand photo is one of our 5 auto repair shops. I graduated into a best-selling author, a real estate investor, because somebody believed in me and gave me a second chance. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I'd like that, with that being said, I'd like to introduce you to Three Keys Communities, a place to unlock a new beginning. This project that you are about to see represents all the core values of what Three Communities stands for: freedom, prosperity, and love. This is where community meets prosperity meets profitability. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So no presentation would be complete without the disclaimer. So this disclaimer talks about past performance does not guarantee future performance. Do your own due diligence and satisfy yourself that this investment meets your objectives. So who are we, right? We are a private sector multifamily real estate operator. We have housing solutions designed to provide support for individuals affected by the justice system or confronting the urgent challenge of homelessness. We have 95 TLFs, or transitional living facility housing options, 185 independent housing options, and we're located in downtown and a little bit north Las Vegas. You can get a kind of a picture here of where we're at. For those of you that know this area, that tall building on the left is the iconic Stratosphere, and that is the strip where my highlighter is. And these squares represent where our properties are located, right behind the strip, within walking distance to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of employers. The Las Vegas is known for the casino industry, right? This property is located a stone's throw from all of that. And I probably don't need to talk about the booming place of Las Vegas, Nevada. Our household median income being 68,000, our population being just south of 2.4 million. We have sports centers, tourism. The Las Vegas Loop has created thousands and thousands of jobs that's being built by Elon Musk underneath the whole area. This is just a phenomenal area that's booming. And it isn't just entertainment industry. We talk about the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, right? All those jobs create jobs that create jobs that create jobs. And this is kind of a visual of where our stuff, we were just looking at the stuff on the right, 149 doors. The other 84 doors is just north of that in North Las Vegas. And like I said, many of you know about the casino industry, but there's another industry in Las Vegas that many people don't talk about, and many of you don't even know that it's there. And my partner Nicole is going to talk a little bit about that. Nicole, you want to share for just a minute?
Sure. Thank you, Rob. So I first moved to Las Vegas in 1991, and it still very much had that old wild, wild west mentality. Locals did not fear the police. Tourists did not have to worry about getting into trouble on a weekend in Las Vegas. We had one jail, which housed just over 104 inmates. However, in the 90s, in addition to the casino industry, another big industry began to emerge here in Las Vegas. That industry would prove to be a very profitable big business. That business is the prison industry. In Las Vegas today, there's a common phrase known amongst locals, and that is come on vacation, leave on probation. In 1997, we built our first maximum security women's prison. In 2000, we built our first maximum security men's prison. Since then, we have added a men's and women's minimum and medium security prison and 4 jails. Today, we have over 13,000 people incarcerated in the Las Vegas Valley. Each month, approximately 500 new people get released from incarceration. And not all these people are what you may think of when you think of criminals. Many of them are truly good people who made a mistake, but have served their time and they really deserve another chance. However, due to an affordable housing crisis in Las Vegas, shortages of housing, limited amount of licensed properties that are approved for parolees, and the inability of reluctance of landlords, many of these people face a grim reality and do not have stable housing options upon exiting the judicial system. Many of them face homelessness, and for many, the cycle often leads them right back into the criminal justice system. So housing is not a new problem, right? However, our city has witnessed the success of transitional housing as a vital solution to this problem. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We are just refining it. So the models we are building upon have already demonstrated their effectiveness in our city. We have seen hundreds of transformed lives and individuals empowered. I myself have personally worked with formerly incarcerated individuals by providing supportive housing for the last decade. Our team brings years of experience in the housing sector. And we're not just providing housing, we're building a community here. We partner with established organizations, community leaders, experts in social services to ensure that our housing is a success. And then our models ensure that our residents continue on the path to self-sufficiency. So we really have a two-part business plan here. The part one is the transitional living facilities, which we just described, and that is the 38 units, which we are converting to the TLFs, which will provide a total of 95 beds. Again, we have comprehensive case management, community collaboration. We have on-site house managers who live there 24 hours a day for immediate assistance. These provide steady rental income. As I said, approximately 500 people get released each month. Reduce vacancy, we maintain a stable waiting list so that as soon as a bed becomes available, it's immediately filled. We collect weekly rent payments. And obviously, because of the shared room spaces, we get double rental returns per unit, maximizing the returns for our investors. Now, the second part of this is what we are doing in the other 185 units. And this is our partnership with Clark County through their Rapid Rehousing Grant. And what this is we are providing housing to a 3,000 plus waiting list of individuals in our community who are currently facing homelessness. And our partnership with the county ensures that these residents in the other 185 units, they get weekly case management visits from their case managers. Again, this provides lack of vacancy because we do have a 3,000 person waiting list. So those beds are filled before a month before they even become vacant. We know they're going to be vacant and they fill them. But in addition to this, there's a lot of perks for working with the county. So one of the things we get is our rents are ACH to us every month on the first of each month. We get a very generous $500 sign-on bonus for every single new one-year lease that we sign. In addition to double security deposits, first and last month rent, we also get a $3,000 risk mitigation fund. And what this does is protect your assets. So say a tenant leaves the unit in not so great condition and the security deposit is exhausted, we have an additional $3,000 to do any repairs for damages that may occur. All in all, these housing options really provide a solution. But it's also about transformation, providing hope, and turning this crisis, this housing crisis in our city. With your investment, we're able to accelerate this mission and also really generate a promised return on your investment.
Wow. So Nicole, you're telling me that for every lease that we sign, we get a $500 sign-on bonus. For every tenant that comes in, we're allowed to charge double security deposits and have a risk mitigation of $3,000 above and beyond that.
That's correct.
And what about rents? Why don't we talk about the rents?
Yeah, so
that they pay?
Sure. So rents, so this would be comparable to a rent comp sheet, right? So our rents are guaranteed what they call fair market rent. So whatever fair market rent is set for the year by HUD, that fair market rent is set each year on October 1st. And whatever it's set out for the year is what the county pays. So this is your fair market rents on the bottom. On the top there, you can see our unit mix. And at the bottom, the 2024 fair market rent, that's what we're guaranteed to get for each of those units, correct? And just so you know, something to add here is that, when we started the underwriting process and the purchase price, we weren't sure what the fair market rents would be for 2024. So we very conservatively underwrote this at a 10% increase. However, you can see the increase was much greater. And on average, Las Vegas has actually seen closer to 20 to as high as 23% increases in fair market rents year after year.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I'll turn it back to you, Rob, so you can answer probably the most important questions our investors would like to hear, which is when you invest, when you get your money back, and how much are you getting?
Right. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that very much. So let's talk about the executive summary brief overview. This is 12 different properties, what they call a scattered portfolio we're purchasing just north of $28.2 million. Close of escrow is expected to be early November, so we're just a few short weeks away. This is a 506C for accredited investors. However, in conjunction with that accredited investor offering, we are offering a crowd fund, which allows our non-accredited friends, relatives, and neighbors to invest in this project for as little as $5,000. We are getting a new mortgage at 7.15% interest, a 12-month interest only, 30-year amortization, 5-year term with no prepayment penalty that allows us to pivot when the market says it's right and refinance with no repercussions for that. As always, we're hiring a third-party property management company. We don't manage properties. We hire people to do that very well. And on this one, we even have a third-party asset manager that will be overseeing the property management company and keeping them accountable on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual basis to the business plan to make sure that things are going in place like it should. Residents are, as Nicole alluded to, they are directed and funneled through Clark County via the Rapid Rehousing Initiative that pays us great rents, gives us bonuses for bringing them in, and protects the asset. Lease periods are 1 to 2 years. This is not a handout. This is not a set it and forget it. This is a hand up, not a handout. They will get them into the program. To qualify for this program, residents have to prove that they're eligible to be able to work and take over the rent little by little in the first 12 months and then graduate the program. This is a get them back on their feet. There are other programs for people that need permanent housing. You've seen our unit mix. A heavy concentration of ones. All these units have been recently renovated. We will be doing a cost segregation study for those of people that have eligible income to offset some taxes. And currently we're in the zone of about 92% occupancy. We expected to inherit the property at about that occupancy. Some of this is reviewed, 28.2 million, 233 units, 12 properties. That's 121K a door. For those of you not familiar with the Vegas community, that's about $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per unit lower than the average that's selling in our area. Loan balance 15.9, that's 56.4 loan to value. 12-month IO, no prepayment. We talked about that. $16.7 million is what we're raising. That breaks down to down payment of 12.3, CapEx and reserves about 2.3, closing costs 1.5. This is a 10-year hold. However, our projection is to give back our investors funds at a refinance event within 4 to 5 years. With it, and then remain owners for the remaining 5 years with no money at risk. So I know this slide can look overwhelming. I did put a QR code in the upper left-hand corner. If you want to scan that, you can get a copy of this complete slide deck and take your time and go through these different categories. But we realized over a period of time of doing this, we have different investors that have different objectives. So we tried to think of a number of different objectives for our accredited as well as our non-accredited. That's why you see so many choices here. We realized, and these left-hand classes, these B1, B2, B3, those are for our accredited investors. On the left-hand side, you'll see that this is for our cash flow investor. This is somebody that just wants to know they're not concerned with back-end equity. They're not concerned with forced depreciation. They just want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt they're going to get a monthly check and what that check amount is going to be. So we set aside $3 million of the raise for our interest-only investors. They're going to get a 12% preferred return. They're going to be first in the waterfall. They're going to get a monthly check. Caveat, they're going to get 8% while we hold the property, and 4% will accumulate and get paid at a refinance when they get their capital back, and they will exit the investment with a fantastic 12% return. That is a wonderful, wonderful investment return for that objective. We also wanted to take good care of our higher investor individuals, 500,000 and above. We're offering a 12% preferred return, 12% preferred return, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing a 70-30 split. They are second in the capital stack. They will participate in the refinance equity. They will retain the same ownership, as I mentioned a moment ago, for cash flow in years 6 through 10. They'll retain 75% of equity when we sell, which turns out to be roughly a 3.2 multiple, a 22.9 annualized average return, and 23.5% IRR. That is phenomenal. returns. And that's based upon some very conservative underwriting, as I'll share with you before long. For our 50,000 and above investors and on the accredited side, we're offering an 8 pref, a 70-30 split. They're next in the capital stack, all those same benefits as the B2. They will also stay in the game. They'll participate in back-end equity, both at refinance and sale. Turns out to be about a 3 multiple, about a 21% annualized average return and a 20% IRR. Very, very respectable returns for our accredited investors. But we are also taking very good care of our non-accredited investors, as you'll see, because here in the crowd fund, we used a $50,000 investment as an example. We're offering a 5% preferred return. All those same benefits, guys, 70-30 split. They will also participate in the equity. It turns out to be just south of a 3 multiple with a 17.8% IRR. Phenomenal returns. Phenomenal returns. Now, we also wanted to say, hey, what does it look like if I put in 5,000? And I'll show a slide that goes into that, but all those same benefits. However, there is no pref down at that level. If you're below that 50K mark, there is no preferred return. It's more of a set it and forget it back end equity play with a 2.6 multiple and a 15% IRR. Very, very respectable returns nonetheless. So with that being said, we're guesstimating somewhere around 40-45% of your investment will be received in the form of on a K1 as a loss on your cost segregation, for those of you that want to take advantage of that. And I put this slide in here, not that you would concentrate on it, get a copy of the slide deck, but what I did want to show here is this is income and expenses, as every income and expense has, vacancy and concessions. We've left that number at 13%, 10 and 3 for all 10 years of ownership as an insurance policy for the unknown. Quite frankly, we got tenants as quick as we can get make-readies done. We've got rents being dropped on the first of every single month. We've still left it at 13% of vacancy, just in case for the unknown. We've really tried to be conservative in our underwriting, guys. So here's kind of a breakdown of what it looks like. If I'm an interest-only investor, I put in $100,000. I'm going to get $8,000 per year, totaling 40 grand. My accumulated 4% is 20 grand. I'm going to receive that, my initial investment, upon refinance and exit the investment. And I've gotten a 12% return for the 4 to 5 years that I've been involved in this. Fantastic returns. Now, what about our $500,000 and above 12 pref? This is my cash flow year over year for the first 5 years. You can see we start to exceed the pref in years 4 and 5. Total cash flow years 1 through 5. Your share of the refinance proceeds, total for the first 5 years. Receive your initial investment back. Total for the second 5 years, total for the life of the investment. Again, phenomenal returns. For our $100,000 investor, as you can see, still very respectable cash flow. This is an 8 pref. We're caught up by year 3. Total cash flow for years 1 through 5. Pro rata share of the refinance proceeds. Total proceeds for years 1 through 5. Going to receive your initial investment back. Cash flow years 6 through 10. Proceeds on sale, total for years 6 through 10, total for the life of the investment. Again, half of that, no money at risk because you've been repaid or reimbursed for your initial investment at refinance. So what about the crowd fund, right? So as you can see, even with the 5 pref, years 1 and 2 is no cash flow, but you will get caught up on your 5 pref on year 3 and continue to receive cash flow years 4 and 5. Total proceeds and cash flow and refinance proceeds is $25,000 in the first 5 years on your $50,000 investment. Total proceeds in years 6 through 10 with no longer having any money at risk is $71,000 for a total of $96K and your initial investment received back at refinance. And then what about the $5,000? I'm got to show that as well. Again, this is not a cash flow play, guys. This is a back-end equity. You can see cash flow is very, very minimal in the first 5 years. Your back-end equity when we refinance about 900, still not, on a percentage basis, not a bad return for the first 5 years. Get your money back, your initial investment back. Cash flow, back-end proceeds when we sell, total proceeds is 7 grand. Again, this is a set it and forget it project, but on my 5,000, I've received 8,400 in those 10 years. So phenomenal returns. Again tried to think of everybody and every objective in investing when we put this together, guys. So let's talk about the property briefly. A lot of times when you see these presentations and see this slide, this is what we're going to do to increase revenue. The value play is renovate the units, vinyl plank flooring, new appliances, new window coverings, all the things you see that are normally part of a normal value play. We don't need to do that to these units, guys. These units are beautiful. They've already been done. They've been taken down to the studs in most cases, electrical done, plumbing done, wiring done. There are some upgrades. You can see there's lights and where fans should be. This is Nevada. It does get hot here if you haven't heard. So there are some things that we will do to upgrade these properties, but renovate is not one of them. Upgrade and continue to keep them nice is what we will do during the hold. Now, these items to the exterior, we will be doing like new paint. It doesn't need new paint right now, but we're going to own it 10 years. It likely won't last the 10 years. The roof's life expectancy won't last the 10 years. So there's a number of things that we will do, including branding, because we are mimicking a bunch of models in the Las Vegas area that are doing the transitional living facility, that fly their flag and are very well known in this community. We want to be just as well known. Three Keys communities, we want to be synonymous for giving back and helping the community while giving their investors good returns. So we will be doing security. And enclosed walkways. We want to create a place of peaceful enjoyment and safety for our tenants. So that is part of our value play for sure. And then, this lists the capital expenditures that we're going to do. A lot of them we've already gone and gotten quotes for this stuff, because in case you don't know, by the time we get to this point of this investment, we've left no stone unturned as far as putting a roofer on every single roof, looking at every single air conditioning and life expectancy, electrical. We've sent the poop cam down all the plumbing to make sure all the cleanouts look good and there's no surprises. And this is where we're brought in this budget from. There's even $566,000 left on there for reserves, for surprises that might come up. There's even 685 on there for interiors, and you just saw the interiors. That's really just to keep things right for the whole length of the hold. And the transitional living facility permits and property updates and licensing fees, all the things that we need to do to be legit on the transitional living facility side. This is not something that we're parachuting into the community and going to try and see if it works. This is something that we're mimicking the models, as well as in the Las Vegas area, as well as leveraging Nicole's experience with the transitional living facility community within the Las Vegas area. And that's pretty much an overview of both the returns and the property. You learned where I began. And I will tell you a brief little snapshot of my portfolio, my wife and I. All of these are with partnerships, as well as Claudia and I have some of this on our own. But each one of these, I just want to be clear about this, is at a different phase in their business plan. Some you see the word sold next to because the business plan has been completed, and some are in the middle of that business plan, and some are right at the beginning. But every property has a business plan similar to what I just shared with you that we're in the process of executing and going through. Nicole, phenomenal addition to our team. Hitomi with the underwriting and behind the scenes. Mitch Snyder with the construction background. I really feel like we have a dream team, as well as, and I should say, Nicole, my wife and I, and the Snyders all live right here in the Las Vegas community. This is our backyard. We will also be leveraging Kim Brugman and her 12-person team at Lighthouse Management Solutions. That is our third-party asset management vendor that we've already been working with on the business plan, numerous meetings with the city of Las Vegas, with Leaps, with our property management company. Love Kim to death and what she does. And then our on the boots on the ground actual property management company, the Creets from Aspire Realty Group, phenomenal experience in the Las Vegas community with scattered portfolios and with the Leaps program. As far as the admin goes, there's no learning curve. They're already implementing this program and dealing with this client every single day. So with that being said, we're excited to have you as part of our Three Keys community family, and can't wait to bring you on board. And my goal is always to have investors for life. So my goal, and I know when you see and really dig into this, you're going to want to be a part of this, and we'd love to have you. So thank you for allowing me to share it today.
Outstanding, Rob. It was great. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, you, the audience, before we begin, I want to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your interest on this deal. Push me up. Let me see what you got. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Got it. All right. What's your result? Yeah, let me see what you got. Yes, some 10, some okay, some 4. I'm not sure. Outstanding. No worries. Now, second question. If you could invest in this deal, how much money would you invest in this deal if you could? You'll see your interest. You can invest. How much money would you invest in there if you could? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Got some more people in? Got you. All right, and pose. Share results. All right, you have a good mixture. All right. Now, a little more serious question. Do you want somebody to reach out to you about investing in this opportunity? There you go. Stop sharing that one. There you go. Do you want somebody to actually contact you about investing in this opportunity? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you. Now, on to our panel list of experts. Oh, you don't see it? On that panel of experts. Okay, gotcha. Scott Kidd, my man, you ready? You up first?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Rob, you and Nicole, you certainly have a very interesting project there. It's a new thing for me that something I've not really even thought about, but I know it's a necessary thing because everybody deserves a second chance. Like you're saying, all it takes is one thing for people to be able to turn around. I know I've had similar issues in my background like that as well. Somebody gave me a little encouragement and got me to where I needed to be. But what a couple of things I wanted to ask is like, how does this the vacancy rates that you have compared to the other facilities in the area?
And the other facilities in the area don't have a bed available. And our current and honestly have an overflow list. Nicole, and we didn't get into it, Nicole actually is very involved with other TLFs, management-wise and ownership-wise here in the Vegas community. And the other facilities are calling her with their overflow right now. Okay. So we're only at 92% because he's currently not doing the business plan that we're going to be implementing.
Okay. And you said the closing is what, next month, you said?
Yeah. We're scheduled to close prior to November the 30th. So right now.
November 30th. Okay. And how much have you guys raised so far?
We've currently in the bank, we've got $4 million. We've got quite a bit of soft commits and some big check writers that are on the verge, but yeah, in the bank about $4 million. Okay.
All right. So you're well on your way. Okay. And I was just wondering, I was curious as far as staffing issues, are you guys having any issues with that? Because myself being on yachts and in real estate and stuff, that since COVID and before, staffing issues can be an issue. How does that affect the business model, and what percentage of the expenses is staffing?
I don't know what percentage of bit, maybe Nicole can work on that while I answer the first part. But to be honest with you, I think if any business owner tells you they're not having issues with staffing in 2023, I would question their integrity, quite honestly, because everybody's having problems with that, with getting good people that really care. Right. Yeah. So I think we'll experience those same challenges as every other business. But you know what? There's still a lot of very successful businesses out there.
True. And because I know just from my own experience, it's takes a while to find the right people. And this fairly unique thing has to be someone that wants to help people. And there's not, it's a pretty unique personality and skill set that you would have to have.
Absolutely. And a lot of times these people are coming straight from the recovery community because it becomes their passion. Myself included, Nicole included, one of our other partners as well. So, yeah.
And one more question. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Scott, a good house manager or managers in this space is a dime a dozen. I'm glad to say at this time, we have some really great ones. And they tend to stay when you find the good ones quite a long time. So we've been lucky in that arena.
Okay. I just had one more question. As far as are you guys planning on opening more of these facilities?
Well, you caught on pretty good there, Scott, because that 367K that is currently set aside to do the CapEx for the transitional living facilities from our CapEx slide. We have 38 doors in on the underwriting, but honestly, our vision is that we would have somewhere closer to 75 to 100 doors available for that. So yes is the answer, but we didn't underwrite it that way. We wanted to be very conservative and just have 38 doors in the underwriting. Yeah.
Okay. And how would that affect the overall projection? Would that increase the returns?
Yeah, to the point where people wouldn't believe the numbers. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, I know.
why we left it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks. It looks, it's a very interesting project. I'd have to myself, I would have to do a bit more research, but
Of course.
I know this is a necessity. So, best of luck. I hope it all works out. It looks to be like you're going to be helping a lot of people.
Outstanding. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
man. All right, next up, the man of the
Thanks,
hour, Joseph. You ready, Joe?
I'm ready. So the lady who did your underwriting, though, she's not here. I wish she'd have held the underwriting up for a little bit longer. But so this has some questions. Why the low leverage? Why the 56% leverage on the deal? Is it lender? What was the lender's valuation of it?
Lenders, it's based upon the debt coverage ratio of the seller's books.
Right.
So unfortunately, they're not as strong as they could be, as well as the bank, and it's a local bank because of the scattered portfolio, a little bit more difficult to get some agency debt on this. HUD will do 90, I'm going to guess 93% of it, but some of it is, they want the parcels touching each other. Just going in the weeds with you a little bit here. A couple of the parcels don't touch each other. So we would have to do separate financing for some of the smaller parcels, Joseph. So we decided, you know what, let's just use a local lender and we'll go with their leverage. It puts us in a very safe spot. But when we refinance, we feel like we'll be able to, our books will be strong enough to do a 65% loan to value.
What's the going in cap rate?
Going in is just south of 6. We're in that 5.8 range.
And so you had 2.9 million of rehab, but that looks like it's just being paid out of equity. Why not finance that?
Because it's not a loan to cost loan, it's a loan to value.
But you don't think it'd been a better structure just to, because then your investors are only paying 25% of the amount?
Investors only paying 25% of the amount. Forgive me, I'm not following you.
If you're financing the rehab instead of, so now they're paying 100% of the rehab dollar for dollar. But if it was built into the loan, then they're just paying 25% of the rehab.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only things that would build it into the loan was either going to be bridge to perm or some sort of an agency specialty debt. And all of those had terms on them that didn't include all the properties, Joseph.
I saw the acquisition fee was pretty hefty, 3.5% acquisition fee on the deal. It's a bit above market, don't you think?
I don't think it's a bit above market, to be completely honest with you, with the time, the additional time that's gone into this, with the amount of parcels that there are, the amount of time that we've actually been working on this for over a year, and there's a number of partners that are participating in that. So I don't think it's out of line, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
Can I just touch on that, Joseph? I just like to say that I've personally been working on this 2 years and was the agent on the deal, waived my commission. So part of that acquisition, it was waived, which was a huge percent. In addition, we aren't participating in this cash flow for the first 5 years.
Oh, I get that. I mean,
returns.
you still have to charge. I mean, you still have to charge market rates for the deals. I mean, otherwise, an investor can go to any deal and pay a 2%, which is usually kind of on the top end instead of the 3.5%. But then the other part on the fees was you've got a disposition fee of 2%. And then your total all-in management fees are almost 10%, 9.25% on an annual basis.
So in that management fee, just so you know, is payroll. So we don't have payroll. That includes payroll in that management fee.
It does.
But
Yeah,
you have
it
payroll
does.
on your financial right here.
No,
So,
there is a little bit of payroll on there. You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
So, okay, so to clarify, that payroll is for the transitional living side. The typical payroll that we would have on the other 185 units is built in to that management fee, which because our property managers include their payroll in their management fee, which is 6.25%, which when we weighed out, because we interviewed 7 different companies, it actually came in to be less than what other companies who were charging 3-4% management fee with the payroll.
Okay, I probably want more info on that. Not now though, but so
Sure.
then looking at the numbers, I saw you've got a total rent growth of 122% over 10 years. That's average of 12.2% per year. What's that about?
Well, a big portion of that is we're going from charging $12.15 right now. That's the current fair market rent, $12.15 per door, where we'll be renting the transitional living facility side of that. We'll be charging $800 on the low side per bed conservatively. So we're able to take those apartments from $12.15 to $1,600 in my example. I think, again, that's how we underwrote it. Those are the numbers we underwrote it. There's models in the area that are charging north of $1,000 per bed. We're planning on expanding that program to more transitional living facilities. And we've used a 10% because the fair market rent that we get to charge, that we're able to charge with the LEAPS program, the Rapid Rehousing Initiative, the 10%, we've used a 10% for the first, I think it's 3 years. I can't remember exactly. And then 3%, I'm sorry, 6% after that, 6% after that. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and
Then the other side of that is the loss to lease I saw, which isn't, I'm assuming that's just baked into other losses because it's not specifically stated here. But if you are increasing the rent that much, and if you are getting that, then mathematically you would have a loss to lease of around 9% in that first year, and then closer to 13% in the second year. So, but just in the first year is a $300,000 loss to lease that's not shown there.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm not sure.
if your underwriter is going to show really high rent growth, they've got to show the corresponding loss to lease that goes with it. It would have been nice to have seen some comps to support the rent growth. But so without that, without having the support for the top side rents and without the loss to leases in there, and usually we really like to see a trailing 12 next to the year one, so we can kind of, the trailing 12 really anchors the pro forma to reality, because otherwise we just have numbers on a piece of paper. We don't know what was in place. And so that's, part of the issue is it's not there. But anyway, I'll leave the rest. I rest my case. I've got no other comments at this point, but I would best of luck on your deal. It's a pass for me though.
Oh,
Fantastic. Thanks, man.
next up, Mr. Irish Kevin, what's going on?
All right. Joe, thanks for leaving me some time there, buddy. Hey, Scott, I don't know about you, but you're talking more units already. How much chum do you want to throw into the water here? This is I feel like I'm one of the guys walking up to the Wizard of Oz and they say, that's a horse of a different color. This deal, I'd have so many questions. I needed like another hour of Shark Tank here. But I just want to start off by saying, great presentation, Rob, and I'm happy to see that you turned the life around here. You did some great pivoting mindset wise, and
Thanks,
same with Nicole. But you did mention it was funny about the due diligence. You did mention something about the poop cam. I thought that was kind of funny. I never heard it called the poop cam before.
The poop can. Yes, sir.
So I got to crunch a lot of numbers before I throw this thing into the poop can. All right. I understand it's affordable housing, it's impact investing. And how do they qualify these tenants? Are these still people being qualified, like as far as income and everything?
Yes. Not income, not necessarily income. They honestly, in order for us to be able to accept these clients, we would be dropping our normal credit score requirements as well as our normal non-eviction requirements, right? Let's be completely honest. The leases are guaranteed by the county, and that's why we're able to do that. The lane that we want to be in naturally, we don't want violent crime. We don't want people that that are crimes against children or sex crimes of any kind. We want to protect our community. So we will have our own lane that's developed by us as well as our property management company. But to qualify for the program, their standards are really I won't say non-existent. They're a whole lot less than what ours will be. And we will still have enough people to go through the cycle and still have the right amount of tenants.
So are they doing criminal background checks right away from the get-go?
I don't know if they are or not, to be completely honest. We will be. We will treat them like any other tenant as far as credit check, background check, all those, even just so we can know where they stand. Even if it doesn't meet what our normal standards will be, we will want that in the file. We will have that in the file.
Because I've had a lot of experience in the the Section 8 and voucher programs. I've had a lot of experience. I've actually owned a couple of sober houses myself in rooming
Awesome.
houses. And I know it was like, you talk about high intensive property management. My money on this deal probably wouldn't be on you, it'd be more on the management company as far as, the jockey in this race, because it's definitely high intensive from what I've experienced. And you say there's 2 different companies. Is that true? Management wise?
No, there's one property management company, boots on the ground, day-to-day operations, going through the process of screening tenants, filling doors, and enforcing the rules, collecting rents, right? So that's one. The other one that I was speaking of is actually the asset manager, going to be taking on that role. Nobody on our team. We'll still work with them directly, but rather than a lot of times these investment partnerships like Nicole and I have someone on their team for asset management. We're very good at it. But on this one, we wanted someone else to come in place, third party, that's going to be actually doing the asset management.
Okay. Now, is this one seller that has all these property?
Yeah, partnership, but yes. Yep.
So
2 guys.
they've accumulated them over the years, I would assume.
Yep, exactly right. Yeah.
But when we say 12 properties, I see like 23. How do you figure 12? I mean, I've seen Chicago and Philadelphia, and I'm like, they're all over the country, but then I just come to realize they're actually names of the streets. So
they're parcels. So Kevin, the way it works in Vegas is it's like 10 units per parcel. So you're probably looking at the parcel numbers. There are a lot of parcels, but it's actually 12 addresses, 12 properties, but tons of parcels.
So is it 12 physical properties or 23? That's what I'm
23.
Okay, so it is 23.
I think based upon your question, there's 23, but yeah.
And what are the age ranges, the age of the properties?
The earliest ones is late 50s, early 60s, mid 60s, late 60s, all the way up to mid 70s.
Okay. Any kids are going to be involved in this?
Yeah, we'll have some. Well, the housing will support families as well, for sure.
Okay, what about lead paint inspections and stuff like that, asbestos?
You've got to have those inspections. Yes. Honestly, all of these have, at least from my knowledge, 90% of these have been taken down to the studs when the seller did his thing. So certainly that's going to be something that needs to be taken care of. Yeah.
Yeah, with the ages and everything and the kids involved, I'd be kind of concerned about lead paint and all the other good
Sure.
sort of stuff. So, asbestos, maybe old steam piping and all that. But all right, I'd have a ton more questions, but in consideration of time, I'm going to cut it short and say thanks for presenting. Good job.
Well, outstanding.
thanks.
Good job.
Thank
Hey, Ron,
you.
before we go, we got 4 minutes left. Do you mind putting the slide, how people reach out to you? Your last slide up again?
Sure, man.
So like I said before, if you all want more information about this deal here, feel free to go to investment3keys.com and you can learn more about this deal here. Also, you reach out to Joseph. Thank you all for this opportunity. We got ours, Kevin, investing, and also Scott Key as well. And team at 3 Keys.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate your time today. Coming up next, we've got unveiling investment, unveiling the private world of private equity investments and opportunity investing in industrial sector. So understanding industrial investments. I'll say, just a quick plug for the World on Private Equity Investments. That's my professor there from Rice, teaches at teaches Rice there. He's become an MBA just recently, earlier this May. So learned everything I know about private equity through him. Definitely encourage you guys to check it out.
Congratulations on that one. Being an MBA.
bud.
Mhm.
Thank
All right,
you,
guys. Thank you all.
Take care.
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thank
Joseph.
you.
Thanks, guys.